The woman of the future will have the memory of Josephine Garris Cochran in grateful remembrance. It was she who invented the machine which has set women free from the most slavish and disgusting task of housekeeping: dishwashing. The Daily Picayune, April 2, 1892. Josephine Garris Cochran was a modern woman who wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. She kept a modern house, wore modern gowns, even added an E to her last name, Cochran, to give it just the right modern touch. Like many people rebuilding their lives in the years after the Civil War, Josephine looked ahead to a brighter future. One night after a dinner party, Josephine noticed something that made her breath catch. Her cups were cracked. Her dishes dinged. Her chowder bowl chipped. She marched into the kitchen, plunged her hands into the murky water, and tried to fix the problem. She soon regretted that decision. Stuck at the sink washing dirty plates, Josephine's fingers weren't free to tickle the ivories at the piano, or pick her favorite flowers from the garden, or spread sweet frosting atop tasty cakes, or even scratch the furry ears of her beloved hounds. There must be a better way. In the 1870s and 80s, inventors were hard at work. Margaret E. Knight built a machine to produce paper grocery bags. Thomas Edison was tinkering with the electric light bulb. Alexander Graham Bell patented the telephone. And Sarah E. Good was building a bed that converted into a desk. Josephine's blood also pumped with an inventive spirit. Her father, John Garris, had conquered raging rivers by building bridges. Her great-grandfather, John Fitch, had mastered water travel by designing steamboats. She wanted to triumph over water, too. Josephine pulled books off the shelves, determined to find a way to keep her precious dinnerware safe from dings and nicks. She pondered. She sketched. She tinkered. She studied a dishwashing invention built in 1850, but it just splashed water around without much cleaning. There must be a better way. Josephine rolled up her sleeves. She measured saucers and soup bowls, calculating how big her contraption should be. She used pliers and wires, shaping metal baskets to hold plates, glasses, and spoons. She designed a wheel to lie at the bottom, spraying hot, sudsy water from a copper boiler, and a hand crank to power it all. Working in the backyard shed with a mechanic, George Butters, Josephine brought her idea to life. When it failed, she started over. When she was close, she kept refining, revising, reworking, rethinking. Finally, like a crystal-clean goblet, things began looking brighter. But tragedy struck in 1883. Josephine's husband died. Debts piled up like dirty dishes. How could Josephine afford her dream of being an inventor? She thought of throwing in the towel. There must be a better way. Like drops of water trickling into a bucket, Josephine paid her bills a little at a time. And she returned to the backyard shed to polish her dishwasher design. Josephine and George tested and tinkered and pushed and persevered until she was satisfied. Josephine had to act fast. If she didn't protect her idea, someone might steal it. She mailed her designs to the United States Patent Office, crossed her chapped fingers, and hoped for the best. Days after Christmas the following year, Josephine received one of the best gifts of her life. Patent number 355,139. Few patent holders wore petticoats. My invention relates to an improvement in machines for washing dishes, in which a continuous stream of either soap suds or clear hot water is supplied to a crate holding the racks or cages containing the dishes while the crate is rotated, so as to bring the greater portion thereof under the action of the water. Josephine Cochran, patent application December 31st, 1885. Josephine needed investors to build her dishwasher business. But no one could imagine a woman running a company. She would have to resign. After all the years she'd spent trying and failing and trying again, Josephine couldn't bear to step aside. There must be a better way. Her invention was meant to spare dishes from chipping and spare women from hours at the sink so they could do whatever they wanted. And what Josephine wanted was to build her business. I cannot let go of the invention. I want to run the thing myself. She read about a World's Fair called the Columbian Exposition, opening in Chicago, 1893. People from every continent were coming. Josephine decided to exhibit her machine. But would it stand out from the rest? Josephine's dishwasher took home the highest prize. It won for Best Mechanical Construction, Durability, and Adaptation to its line of work. Orders began pouring in from hotels, restaurants, and even schools and hospitals. The Garris-Cochran Dishwashing Machine Company soon outgrew the backyard shed. By 1898, Josephine opened a bigger factory near Chicago. She filed for new patents, adding motorized power and reducing the number of pipes, and placed her reliable partner George in charge of factory operations. People marveled at how her machines washed over 100 dishes in minutes, and how the scalding hot water killed germs better than hand washing. Josephine's company grew more successful every year, but sales into homes weren't catching on. Josephine didn't worry. She updated her designs. She improved her factory's production. She knocked on more doors. Even in her 70s, gray-haired but determined as ever, Josephine jumped on a train to New York. Marching into the city's modern department stores and soaring hotels, she kept on selling her invention to new restaurants there. Hope on, hope ever. That is my motto. It is a good world, and getting better every day. Eventually, her dream of dishwashers humming in home kitchens came true. Instead of standing elbow-deep at the sink, women and men, and even children, had more time to do the things they loved, like playing the piano, picking flowers, frosting cakes, and scratching their beloved hound's ears. There was a better way, and Josephine Cochran found it.